Well, you guys loved the first one, so it's time to look at some more creepy caverns. Here are the top 5 terrifying caves where evil awaits, part 2. Number 5 on this list is the Wabasha Street Caves. The story behind these caves is honestly super interesting, truly sounds like something right out of a movie. These caves are located in St. Paul, Minnesota, and are along the Mississippi River. They were man-made and aren't too deep underground. They were initially used as a mine for silica, however their purpose changed as the years went on. After the mining stopped, they actually got converted into a speakeasy during the Prohibition. What better place to hide away and drink than underground? Alcohol was run through this cave and it was a hotspot for illegal activity. So you could make the argument that we actually brought the evil to this cave by doing that. Either way, it gets a lot worse. In the 1930s, as this place was still being run by the mafia, 3 gangsters were gunned down here in cold blood. It's believed that it was a hit from a rival group. That rival group probably didn't know that this hit would haunt this place forever. Those 3 gangsters who were killed have never truly left this place. Their ghosts are still seen all the time. These are not friendly ghosts either, folks. These are high-ranking mafia bosses who are pissed off that they got killed. They don't like being disturbed at all and make it very known. It's believed that they are confined to this cave until a descendant from their murderer comes into the cave so they can finally exact their revenge and find peace. You already don't want to be visiting this cave because of these guys, but I can't even imagine how bad things would actually be if you were unlucky enough to be that one descendant that they take revenge on. Number 4 on this list is Robber's Cave. Now, I'll be honest, guys, I don't really know why this cave is called Robber's Cave because there's no history of robbers or theft in this spot. What there is history of is some ancient Native American rituals. Ranker says Robber's Cave of Lincoln, Nebraska was once known as Pahrump Bluff and served as a sacred meeting spot for the Pawnee Native Americans. The cave system beneath the bluff was where the Pawnee taught many traditional practices such as healing, animal powers, and the medicinal and magical value of plants and roots. Nowadays, locals claim to hear the sound of beating drums and chanting as if these rituals are still being performed by ghosts. There have also been reports of screams and moans emanating from the caves. The elaborate cave system was sealed for years, but now can be toured by the public. So here's the thing, guys, it doesn't actually sound like the people who used to reside here were performing any evil rituals at all. They were kind of just here doing their thing. So why is it that their spirits are locked in this cave? Well, locals believe that there was always something inherently evil about this cavern, and there always will be. That for whatever reason, the evil in this place has latched onto the spirits of those in the past and won't let them find peace. If this is the case, then it seems like just bad luck of the draw to happen to pick this cave. The people previously had no warning and didn't know, but I'm telling you all right now, this is not the cave you want to spend time in. Number 3 on this list is Speedwell Cavern. Speedwell Cavern is located in England in a very pretty area called Wynot's Pass. This is beautiful, and like a ton of other places that we talk about on this channel, would be super awesome if it wasn't deeply haunted. Well, the pass itself is kind of haunted, but the cave definitely gets the worst of it. It's all because of what happened several hundred years ago in 1758. What should have been one of the best years of Alan and Clara's life, 2 lovers who were going to get married, turned into the last year of their life. The pair were deeply in love, but their families did not approve of each other's selection. So Alan and Clara took it into their own hands and embarked on a journey to get married in secret. Their destination was Peak First Chapel. On the night before their arrival, they stayed at this inn called Castleton Inn. On that evening, they were parading around in their fanciest clothes and enjoying each other's company as this was the final day before they got married. Well, this turned out to be a poor idea because a group of drunken miners spotted the pair. Based on the outfits that they were wearing, the miners thought that they were extremely rich and would make for an easy couple to rob. The next day, as the pair were on their final leg of the journey, the miners attacked the couple at Wynot's Pass. These miners were brutal about their robbery and didn't leave Alan or Clara alive. They killed them and took their bodies into a cave in Wynot's Pass to hide them. Speedwell Cave. Well, those two bodies lay there decaying for over a decade before anyone found them, and that was enough time for the two spirits to get pretty pissed off. Now this cave is deeply haunted with these two ghosts who were robbed of spending their lives together and are taking their anger out on people who pass by. This cave is super out of the way, so there really is no reason to go unless you wanted to go see them, but that's something that locals really don't recommend doing. Number 2 on this list is the Cave Hotel. Yeah, you heard that right, folks. A hotel that is in a cave. An idea that sounds pretty interesting to a lot of people who may be adventurous, but I can promise you it isn't as cool in practice. That's simply because of the haunting, though. The hotel itself is pretty sweet and would make for quite the experience if, of course, it didn't happen to be deeply haunted. Ranker writes, "It's no secret that the Grand Canyon's nooks and crannies have long been subject to haunting rumors. The fact that somebody created a cave hotel in such a place is equal parts awesome and terrifying. While there's evidence these caverns may have been discovered by members of the Hulepe tribe a decade earlier, the official discovery is credited to Walter Peck in 1927. Obviously, Peck wasn't the first to stumble upon the cave system, as he found the remains of two brothers who fell ill to the flu. Both brothers and even Peck himself are among the ghostly apparitions visitors claim to see at the Cave Hotel. Another source of paranormal activity in the Cavern Hotel is former manager Gary Ringsby, who took his life in what's known as the bunkhouse back in the 1970s. Those brave enough to sleep in the hotel suites have reported the distant sound of Native American chants and shadowy figures dancing along the rocks. Other claims include whispering sounds, the elevator door opening and closing without cause, and the image of a person dangling from the top of the cavern. We have a pair of sick brothers, we got a former hotel manager, and we have Native American ghosts. What isn't this hotel haunted with? Clearly these caves are bad news. Like, just think about how many people have perished here. And yes, I understand, staying in a room literally in the Grand Canyon, like, that sounds pretty freaking awesome, but not if it means potentially risking your soul or even your life in the process. There are just way too many instances of tragedies at this spot to be paying it a visit anytime soon. People who have stayed here before believe something evil could be lurking down there, and that the first people who came here have awoken it. Based on everything that's gone down and how haunted it is now, I tend to agree with them. And number 1 on this list is Chislehurst Caves. Just that name alone, Chislehurst Caves, is enough to give someone, well, chills. The cave lives up to its name and isn't the type of cavern I recommend trekking through. Ranker says the Chislehurst Caves in the United Kingdom are human-made mines that may very well be home to many spirits. The first record of this cave system dates back to 1250, and the 22-mile network is thought to be the work of generations of Druids, Romans, and Saxons. Tour guides highlight the supposed Druid altars and the chilling tales surrounding the caves involving both ritual sacrifice and cold-blooded slayings. The sounds of screams, murmurs, children giggling, and footsteps can be heard echoing from deep within the labyrinth. It's not just ancient ghosts either. During the Blitz in World War II, over 5,000 Londoners took refuge in the caves at night. Naturally, modern locals report that those who lost their lives in the caves still haunt the tunnels. Ritual sacrifices and cold-blooded slayings? Yeah, that's a big no from this guy. In part 1, we talked about another English man-made cave called the Hellfire Caves, and it seems like they modeled that cave after this one. A deep and dark space where these people can perform horrible and gruesome procedures. Similarly to the Hellfire Caves, no one has any idea how many lives were lost down here. But considering these caves have been around since the 1200s, I'd place a wager that the answer is a lot. But there you have it, guys. That is our list of the top 5 terrifying caves where evil awaits part 2. Please comment down below what you thought about this list and some other potentially haunted caverns that you guys know about. Also, please hit the like and subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching. I've been your host, Nicholas Playlog, and I'll catch you next time.